and that is where you go ahead to create a new knowledge and go ahead to push the boundary of existing knowledge. Moving ahead, I invite Sanjay sir to speak few words.
Thank you, Upasana. It was, I also extend a very warm welcome to all the scholars, new scholars. We have already met once during your selection process. It was a tough competition. I agree with that. Before we move on, I would like to touch upon some misconceptions that people have about PhD and about research in general. Upasana has been trying to address that question since beginning of this program in a very subtle way. I would be a little more direct. She was talking about the degree, DR, and she was talking about that issue because she experienced certain comments, certain remarks, certain responses during the interview process, and based on that, she was making that remark. See, Vice Chancellor sir said that it is only once that you do this. So it's only once that you do PhD, but it is a training for a lifelong engagement in research. And what is research? Is to question. That's the first thing. If you can question, even if it is believed to be known, even then if you can question, then there's a chance of starting research. And why should we do research? Because if we had not done research, the earth would still be flat. If we had not done research, the world would still be geocentric. If we had not done research, our understanding of how this Srishti works or this nature works would have been very superficial. It would have been not because of the forces of nature, but because of God, that the nature would have been working. It is the research, it is the scientist's job that they did and are doing. So they have been discovering how the nature works, how physical world works, how social world works, how biological world works. And every generation discovers new facts about something that we already know. So while the earth was flat at one time, as per all our knowledge systems, and was at the center of the universe, and the moon and the sun were the planets around that were revolving around it. Later discoveries challenged this position and gave evidence that it is not so. It is not the center of the universe, and sun is not a planet for earth. It is the other way. And then it was discovered that even sun is not the center of the universe, even it is moving. So the knowledge that the research creates is always evolving. You are a researcher only if you have this belief that the knowledge that is known to us is not permanent. This is the knowledge based on the logic, based on the evidence that has been collected as on today. This will change. by the new evidence that will come, by the new devices, new equipment, or accidental. Certain new evidence will force us to change our understanding about things that we feel we know completely. So the scientific knowledge is always one which is evolving. Unlike the religious knowledge, where it is written in X book or Y book, and whatever is written is the permanent truth, unalterable. Written few thousand years ago, either in this part of the world or that part of the world, either in this language or in that language, all of them are considered to be holy. Scientific knowledge is different from that. Something is not true because X has said it. Something is not true because it is written in that book. Something is true because there is evidence to show that it is true. Something is true because there is logic to support that it is true. So you take it as true in the light of the evidence and logic. And having a belief that things can be known. So curiosity is that starting of that journey, and you use the torch of research to illuminate the areas of the dark areas of ignorance, and we do it every day. So PhD is essentially a training to hold that torch in our hand and illuminate the dark areas of ignorance. It is happening because Bhagwan ki marji hai. This is an area of ignorance. It is happening because there is a natural phenomena, or it is a social phenomena, and these are the variables, and this is why it is happening. So when we are not able to explain something, we have a beautiful explanation called God. We say this is because of God, because we are not able to explain it. Wonderful. So we feel satisfied, we feel happy. But the moment we have a explanation, we do not leave that explanation to the God's will. Then we say this is it. There are other phenomena that we leave to the God then. Okay, and that range of phenomena that we are able to explain in the light of the evidence, in the light of the logic that we have, is gradually expanding generation after generation. Information is expanding. Lot more people are educated, lot more people are engaged in research. So research is, as was rightly pointed out, is not about becoming just an expert who knows an area well. It is about an expert who contributes knowledge to that area. That is, who has eliminated the zones of ignorance related to that area and has created new understanding. New theoretical understanding. Essentially, applying a known theory to build a machine is not research. That is design. That may be innovation. Research is developing new understanding, developing new theory, developing new knowledge that can be applied in various ways, in various contexts. So the academic research would expect you all to develop new theoretical insights, new theoretical frameworks, new concepts, and show the new relationships between the known concepts, irrespective of your discipline. And those concepts and those new relationships and those frameworks can then help in solving the real world problems. that you have solved a real world problem would be a proof to show that your theoretical framework, that your theoretical concept that you created is correct. The research output would be that theory, and the evidence of that would be that real world problem, that solved real world problem. You may or may not even solve a real world problem. You can defend that with the help of an argument also, with the help of logic also, you can defend a proposal. But in applied areas like engineering, often you would build a system to show that that theory that you have proposed is working. So for example, if you are making a new machine, let's say just for the sake of argument, if you are making a new motor, let's say. So the purpose of research will not be to make a new motor. The purpose of research will be to create a new theory how motors should be made, and to create a proof of that success of your theory, you will also make a motor. But just because you have made a motor, you can't claim that this is research. You will have to defend your method of making that motor, that theory behind that motor, and then there is a evidence that here is the working model based on this model. So remain sensitive to the importance of the theory. Develop theories. You will have to be open to the values. You will have to inculcate certain values in yourself. You will have to be open to change your understanding in the light of new evidence, in the light of new ideas. Be open. Be flexible. Be fair with your data that you collect, if you collect any data. Be fair in the assessment of your own arguments. And most of all, persevere. It is only after lot of hard work that the insights will come. They will surely come. After you have put in the required hard work, the insights will come, new theoretical insights will come. Do not lose patience. People become impatient and start taking shortcuts. There are certain guidelines that will be told to you by Vipin shortly. One of that is that you are required to produce n number of papers before the acceptance of your PhD. Now that is just a eligibility condition, not a completion criteria. That if you have published those many papers, then there is a eligibility condition that maybe you can be considered for the completion of the PhD. Does not mean that your PhD is over just because you have published those 2 papers or 3 papers. Vice Chancellor mentioned about the quality. What do we mean by quality of research? We'll discuss those issues later in coursework. When we talk of research methodology, we'll discuss that. Okay. So just mere completion, mere achievement of certain quantitative goals, that you have completed the coursework, you have completed the n number of publications that are required, hence you have a right to PhD. That will not be the case. We will have to see the quality of your work. Be ready to work hard. During interviews, we were seeing that some people had certain mythical belief that in certain, and that is because of the culture that is prevailing in the country at many places. Not all, but many. Okay, that you need to put in this much of work every week, and you do that for 3 years or 2 years, and you should be able to complete your PhD. PhD is going to demand a lot of hard work. At least Totally, you should be able to give 5,000 hours to your research before even thinking that your PhD work is complete. And that would involve research literature survey, that will involve hypothesis development, research question development, testing your idea, data collection, theory formulation, writing, debating with the other peer researchers. Tomorrow your classes will start. I'm sure Vipin will share the timetable. So more on this we will discuss in the courses. I wish you great luck and expect you to put in a lot of hard work in your research. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I think, sir, the words spoken by sir was very deep and very serious, and was very important to sensitize our students that, you know, what is the importance of PhD program, the program for which you have really contested strongly and reached here. So there is a tough path ahead which you need to take, and I think very rightly he has stressed upon the point that, you know, evolution is something which is a continuous process, and it does not start with end with, you know, developing a theory. And he has rightly pointed